There is a global ground stop for Delta Airlines flights waiting to take off. Now, the airline is blaming this on a computer system outage.
Major cyber attack is underway right now. Throughout the day, it has been affecting internet traffic up and down the East Coast in particular. Take a look at this list of companies that have been affected so far.
In the day's other news, the United States formally charged that Russia organized the hacking of democratic political sites and state election systems.
My wife's a resident. She doesn't make much money being a resident. I have a startup company, and in order to afford to build our dream, I wanted to rent on Airbnb to help subsidize some of that cost. And with the passing of this new law, just listing my place makes it illegal.
It's the end of an era for Yahoo. What an era, right? The Silicon Valley pioneer will cease to exist after 2 decades as Verizon buys the company for $4.8 billion.
All right, Ford expanding its reach into autonomous vehicles to be the largest in the industry. That announcement came with the news Ford would be testing self-driving cars on the public roads of California.
There's nothing quite like a flying robot delivering a package into your hands within minutes of placing an order. That is a magical experience.
Flirty is the first company to get government approval to make deliveries by drone, beating out Amazon and Google.
Elon Musk's going to be in the history books for a variety of reasons. One of them is going to be his private space company, SpaceX. The company's rocket, the Falcon 9, made a successful vertical landing in Cape Canaveral on Monday.
Now to this story, revolutionary technology that can edit genetic mistakes is getting attention and scrutiny this morning. CRISPR could help rid us of diseases like cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, and even HIV and cancer.
Am I supposed to dance to that? I'm not sure. Welcome. So we showed that video simply to underscore the reality that is obvious to most of you in the room, that technology really is finding its way into literally all facets of modern life and is truly transforming everything, something that we believe is an extraordinarily positive development. And yet, this is amazing and true, neither Donald Trump nor Hillary Clinton knows how to use a PC, which is really, I think, a sad testimony to the state we're in. We're going to get into a lot of talk in the next hour about what the events of yesterday mean for tech as a tool, tech in government, tech-based progress generally, and just what we think about it, because there's a lot of emotion there that we can't stay away from. And we have a great bunch of people that'll be up here, and we want all of you to participate in that. I don't know how much I want to just say one thing about the election that really struck me in watching some of the analysis last night. And it was this great line from a Republican pundit on MSNBC who said that the elites took Trump seriously, literally, but not seriously. The elites took Trump literally, but not seriously. The people that voted for him took him seriously, but not literally, which I thought was really an insightful way to think of it, and I hope that it's true, because I don't really want them to have been literally believing all those things he said. But in any case, we are in an altered reality. We always knew this was going to be an interesting time to have a conference, and it's proven to be even more true than we probably mostly expected. I want to just, though, go back to also this issue of tech transformation, because despite the dissatisfaction that's evident in Brexit and the election of Trump, et cetera, and despite the fact that we do have government leaders that are, in our country, disturbingly unaware of what's going on when it comes to tech-based transformation, the world is going ahead regardless, and we are huge cheerleaders for that. Those of you who've been to Techonomy on many repeated years will remember that on I believe, 2 different years, I opened at this part of the conference showing an animation from gapminder.org about living standards around the world and how they've changed since 1800. And it is a uninterrupted line up and to the right, that lives are getting longer, people are getting healthier, infant mortality is going down. Basically, healthier, happier, and wealthier is happening around the world, and that is an unstoppable force. And it's very easy to forget in the news-infused world we live in. So that gives me fundamental optimism about where everything's going. Meanwhile, over 2 billion people have smartphones, so they will insist on participating in all of these changes in ways that we can't predict or control. And as we heard at a set of sessions we had this morning called Techonomy Health, which was a smaller gathering kind of preparatory for this one, the range of things that are happening in healthcare and that are possible in healthcare because of technology are extraordinary, and it is possible to really paint an amazingly positive picture of where we will go if we have the will. And again, the will might emerge faster in other countries than in the United States, but it's going to happen. So there's great things coming. The point of this conference, though, is to help us all strategize and think clearly about how we as individuals, as leaders, as business people, as technologists, can contribute more actively, more effectively toward progress. We are big believers in progress. Obviously, that can include the profitability of your company, but we really think it has to include taking big picture view of what's happening in the world. And we go to great lengths. We spend months and months programming this conference, and I think you'll see we've got some amazing people here to underscore those points. So with that said, I want to bring out my 2 partners in crime that I work with every day at Techonomy, Josh Campbell, Techonomy's president, and Simone Ross, who is the co-founder with me of Techonomy and our program director. So Josh and Simone, please come on out.
Thanks, David. So as David mentioned, today we hosted our first Techonomy Health Roundtable this morning. Thanks for some of you who came out. We obviously see healthcare as a major industry being transformed by tech, and we appreciate Philips and Accenture's support for making that happen. And the next 2 days that we'll embark on really is made possible by a lot of our great partners. So you'll hear about them throughout the event. I encourage you to talk to some of the executives from those companies, but really just to go through them. Our host partners are Accenture, Cisco, Philips, Verizon, who some of you just got to enjoy some of the wine out on the veranda here. That wine was made using Internet of Things technology. For those of you who've grabbed the magazine, there's a short little article about how Han is using sensors in their vineyards. Our supporting partners, AppDynamics, Ford, GE. Our longest-standing partner, 6 years in, our knowledge partner, McKinsey. Partners Omidyar and Grayling, as well as want to thank W2O Group, who had put a couple of scholarships together to make it possible for a couple of entrepreneurs to be here with us today. So I encourage you to learn a little about our partners over the next couple days, and I look forward to spending the next 3 days with you.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm a little numb still from what's happened.
And she's not even an American, for God's sakes.
I have 2 countries I can go to if I need to. So when we started planning this program, obviously we had no idea who would actually become president-elect, but we did know we would have probably 2 different kinds of conversations depending on the outcome. I, like probably many in this room, didn't believe that this would be the result. I didn't actually really think this could be the result, but in hindsight, it seems to be the right result for a nightmare of an election season that we've all been. But I think it really highlights that no matter how much we talk about tech, no matter how much we talk about how everything is connected, tech's ability to bring us together, we're really kind of in our own little pseudo-connected bubbles, and somehow that has got to change. So if you haven't figured it out, David is the half-full part of the picture, and I'm the glass half-empty part of the picture.
Sometimes.
You know, no app, No AI can really fix the very deep-rooted, divisive social, racial, and economic divisions in this country and even around the world. But it's really going to be interesting to see where the leadership comes from to get us through the next 4 years. And I think it's going to be very interested to see what role all of you in this room play in that. So on a slightly brighter note, let's get to the program, which I am actually excited about. We've got 94 speakers over the course of 3 days. We've got 41 segments ranging from 90 seconds to an hour. We'll be covering everything from space and the oceans and everything in between: data, AI, IoT, cybersecurity, climate, healthcare, urbanization, the election, of course. And as David said, it really does take a lot of time to put together a program like this. But it's really kind of depends on you guys to help make it really work. So engage, ask questions, challenge. The goal really is to have dialogue and conversation here. We do have mic handlers, so they will be around the room. If you have a question, put your hand up. They will come and find you. Everything is on the record. The conference hashtag is Techonomy16. The wireless network is Ritz-Carlton Conference. The password is Techonomy2016. And please turn your cell phones off or to silent. So we're going to get started with what we call Fusion. Short, 90-second talks on the speaker's choice of issues, biggest fear, concern. Maybe we'll get a little bit of hope into this. And we're going to get started.